The longest-serving paramount queen of the Ghana state, Na Dede Omadro III, on Wednesday touched down from a Delta airline flight from the United States to a festival of drumming and singing as notable dignitaries within the Ghana state thronged the VIP lounge of the Kotoka International Airport to welcome her. The Queen Mother, who has reigned for 58 years, had been in the United States since 2016 for medical treatment and returned in good health to occupy her office and resume her duties. She arrived to a display of Ghana culture in an atmosphere electrified by the chanting of slogans and appellations by sub-queen mothers in reverence to their leader, which began a formal welcome process as the home delegation took turns to greet and hug Na Dede Omandro. The delegation was led by the Sempe Manche and the acting president of the Ghana Traditional Council, Ni Adote Otinto II. Other members of the welcome party were a member of the Council of State, Stanley Ni Ajiri Blankson, the Greater Accra Regional Minister, Henry Quarte, the NDC MP for Ablekuma South, Alfred Oko-Vanderpoy, the Director of Operations at the Presidency, Lord Kome, the Metropolitan Chief Executive of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, Mohamed Ajay Sowa, and the High Priest of the Ghana State, Nai Wulome. Na Dede Omandro was then decorated with the traditional Nyanyura leaves, an iconic symbol of grace and authority for people of the highest order in the Ghana state. Na Dede Omandro III, who was installed in 1963, used the occasion to thank the Ghana Traditional Council and the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, for providing her invaluable support and urged the entire leadership of the Ghana state to work in unity for the ultimate development of the people and the country.
Yes. Ni foa mwake mi boye man se kokoko jaba boye man ni bi ke na bi fi aso yi dani maya no ni da mo fi amoshi e ngona ke imba nina NDC bi ke MPP bi me fe ataya na kajibo ni sumo ni sumo ni nakai Inchio ni mana bonafi ni wose kanyu mo chemi ni mi ya ni atelemi kaya ke fuma fe na nake mimba fiku.
The MCE of the AMA called on the Ghana state to accord the Queen Mother the peace of mind and support to enable her to discharge her duties effectively. He said it was admirable that the leadership of the Ghana state had put aside any disagreements within their fold to converge in unity to welcome the paramount Queen Mother. That, he said, represented a sign of unity, adding that they will work together to support Na Omandro in her quest to fully unite the Ghana state.
Oh, Madame before Mubi. Madame. Oh, Manye. It is my view. Oh, Quille, Capachia. Ishia Ba. A bee, a nabi, a hoi fair. Eba, Kotoka International Airport. I can watch you later.
President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo on Wednesday signed a book of condolence for Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, which has been opened at the British High Commission in Accra. Prince Philip, husband to Queen Elizabeth II of the United Kingdom and the longest-serving royal consort in British history, died in Windsor Castle at the age of 99 on April 9th this year, 2 months before his 100th birthday. His funeral is scheduled for April 17th this year. President Akufo-Addo wrote, "We are all very sad in Ghana to learn of the passing of Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh. He has many admirers in Ghana who have vivid memories of his visit to our country. We appreciate very much the works of his body, the Duke of Edinburgh Award Scheme, which has benefited hundreds of thousands of Ghanaians. We express our deepest condolences to Queen Elizabeth in her period of mourning and loss. The president continued, "We pray for God's strength for her and her children and family and ask for God's blessings in this period. May his soul rest in peace." Prince Philip was born into Greek and Danish royal families in 1921 on the Greek island of Corfu. His family left Greece when Philip was a year old after the end of the Greco-Turkish War. He spent his childhood in France and Germany and later moved to Britain, joined the Navy in 1939, during which time he met the then Princess Elizabeth and got married to her in 1947 prior to her ascension to the throne in 1952. The prince renounced his Greek royal title and became a British citizen. He was given the title His Royal Highness and named the Duke of Edinburgh by the Queen's father, King George VI, in respect of their marriage. Prince Philip retired from active naval service in 1951 and was made a British prince in 1957. Since then, he has been the Queen's consort, where he supported her in her role as a reigning monarch and also invested his time in supporting her conservation and engineering organizations. He was a patron, president, or a member of more than 750 organizations. He retired from public duties in 2017. The couple had 4 children: Charles, the Prince of Wales, Anne, the Princess Royal, Prince Andrew, the Duke of York, and Prince Edward, the Earl of Wessex. They had 8 grandchildren and 10 great-grandchildren.
Mr. John Peter Amewu, Minister of Railways Development, says about 80% of the 97-kilometer Tema-Mpakadan railway line has been completed. He noted that the project would be completed sooner than expected and that the rail bridge across the Volta River at Kencity in the Eastern region would be completed by the end of August. Mr. Amewu said the rail construction work was progressing, adding that he was quite encouraged by what the construction company was doing so far. The minister made this known during his tour of the Tema-Mpakadan railway line, where he and his entourage were conducted around the project site by officials of Afcons International Limited, the Mpakadan Railway project contractor. During the tour, the minister and his entourage paid a courtesy call on Odinoho Kwafu Akutu III, the Akwemu Hene at his place at Akwemufi in the Eastern region, and briefed the chief on the ongoing rail construction works in his traditional area. Mr. Amewu's tour also took him to the construction site of the Mpakadan Railhead Terminal at Mpakadan and the Volta Rail Bridge at Kencity, both in the Eastern region. He also inspected the Doyimu Railway Station and the completed track works at kilometer 27 to kilometer 34. The minister said the major challenge so far had to do with where the rail line ends, that is the Mpakadan itself.
They should be able to live up to that completion period. Progress is quite encouraging. At Mpakadan, you saw what we witnessed there. There was a bit of concern. What happened? What next? And it's important that we need to talk to my colleague, the transport minister, to have some level of collaboration to see what we can do quickly at the port of Mpakadan. Otherwise, it's a train to say nowhere. It's important that some activities is done there, which obviously falls within the Transport Ministry's area. So I have to discuss with you and engage him quickly. Because of this progress, completion, as I said earlier on, would be sooner than expected. And that port needs to be completed.
The Tema-Mpakadan rail line is part of the 1,000-kilometer Burkina Faso Railway interconnectivity project, which will link Ghana from Tema to Burkina Faso's capital, Ouagadougou. With regards to the Ghana-Burkina Faso Railway connectivity project, Mr. Amewu said his Burkina Bay counterpart was expected to meet him in Accra for discussions.
With the support of the queens, the support of the chief and elders of this community, especially on the right of way and the corridor of where this railway line is passing, with your support, Ghana will become a shining star within the sub-region. What is interesting about this particular railway line is the fact that it's more of a continental railway line. It's running right down from Tema through Mpakadan straight to Burkina Faso. About 2 weeks ago, we were in Burkina Faso to have interactions with our counterparts. And that agenda for development and completion of this railway line it's on course.
He recalled that they both held a meeting on the project in Ouagadougou about 3 weeks, during which they laid down the framework of the project. Mr. Amewu said the Ministry of Finance had already approved the purchase of 2 coaches for the Tema-Mpakadan rail line for the transportation of passengers. Mr. Yawusu, the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Railway Development Authority, said the 2 diesel multiple unit coaches were expected to arrive in the country before the completion of the Tema-Mpakadan rail line construction.
Finance has approved the purchase of 2 DMUs, which is diesel multiple units, to transport passengers from Tema to Mpakadan. Yes.
So when are they likely to enter into the country?
Most likely before the completion of this project in November, before November.
During the minister's courtesy call on Dakwe Muhene, he lauded the paramount chief for his support for the project. He told Dakwe Muhene that the government was committed to the development of the railway industry as part of efforts to accelerate the country's socio-economy. Odunoho Kwafu Akoto III appealed to the minister to ensure that pedestrian bridges were constructed alongside rail bridges. He also urged the government to ensure that adequate compensations were paid to the landowners.
We thank you very much for doing that work for us. I know we are now going to move on to land compensation. Ananum have realized that even though we are paying compensation for land used, some of the lands were kind of leased to our tenants who has built properties and things on them. You know, some of the lands were given like 50 years, 70 years, 99 years. All we are saying is these kind of modalities should be worked out well so that the reversions can come back to the allodial owners of the lands.
He further applauded the minister to ensure that community debates were held to get the people informed of the project. On his part, Mr. Amewu assured Dakwe Muhene that his outfit would ensure that the community engagement on the project would be held within 30 days. The Minister of Roads and Highways, Honorable Kwesi Amoakwata, the Chief Executive of the Ministry of Roads and Highways, Directors and Agency Heads on Tuesday, embarked on an inspection tour in Accra and Tema. The team visited a bridge under construction which links the Tema Community 12 and Lashibi, the Nungwa Barrier, Tema Community 3 section of the La Beach Road, Tishi First Junction Bridge of the La Beach, Adringano East Legon Road Project, and Nanakrum Bridge. It can be recalled that the Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia cut the sword for the reconstruction works on the Accra Tema Beach Road. The 26.6-kilometer project, which cost an estimated $100 million, is expected to be completed in 24 months and is being undertaken by Mrs. Gansu International Corporation and Mrs. China Major Bridge Engineering Company Limited. The first lot of 16 kilometers begins from the Independence Arc to Nungwa, while the second lot of 10.6 kilometers continues from Nungwa and ends at Tema Community 3. Portions of the road were dualized some years ago, while other sections have remained single carriageways. Addressing the media after the inspection, Honorable Kwesi Amoakwata cautioned persons who have raised structures within the Ramsar site to stop, adding that those in the public offices should be up and doing.
Aprobo nyina me fapim egina so ene se emrika so pa enyuma ekoso na ye hyaase President Akufo-Addo first term, particularly 2020, wama instruction say yenhwe all the ministers o say adwuma bi a ekoso yenhwe say afie yedin na beba ewieye ba akwan ho nsɛm a ade a edi yenya pa baako ewo cities to say Accra, Kumasi, Takoradi, Mpela, Tamale eye congestion udi traffic mu a ya papa yenkrofo bre enti mantem akwan all arterial roads ni ade a say yehwe na yeyi na ye baba akwan nu na yeye ebi dual carriage na yeye ebi bypass ye dimrika enam so ehwe se ni na ekoso na nkrofo bi out of indiscipline Ramsia area. When I started building walls. Ghana there. I am in Hunia Hat, Yenuanubi. What's about nature? Nature Kranu Yantiasia. Ramsia area, water bodies. Do people know the importance of Ramsia areas and water bodies? The ecological importance of these water bodies. People don't have an idea. And go first started air filling air two walls. Me were confidence were municipal chief executive. And meaning said he will be up and doing obey necessary oye. Now a jurisdiction for now menko the minister obey. But we think a jurisdiction by 2-3 days all those walls will come down. So a jurisdiction and I'm by tomorrow the second day all those walls will come down no matter the owner. We are owner now we are Ghanaian also and Saint Ghana. If we say we are Sikania, Sasikano, Uditi, Ufie, nobody cares about that. And a to me beyond who are be able to media yet near or Ghana. Ghana is a disciplined country. Ghana is not a lawless country. There is a government in place. There is a strong president, disciplined president in place. Ghana.
Taking her turn, the municipal chief executive for Lejikuku constituency, Honorable Evelyn Chumjamra, applauded President Akufo-Addo and the contractors.
In fact, many are so papa. Say womo yes teshin yen beach road di amayen. Inti ende Honorable Road Minister wabaha so baba inspect road no adwuma air koso. Ono so buy no me hu say nani agi adwuma no ho. The rate at which they are working no any sopa. Enti asida ni edi ma yen president Nana Adodankwa Akufo-Addo say ye phase 1 for no ho from Independence Square to Nungwa ye phase 1 for no ho inti nije many aje pa.
Per the classification of urban roads, the Accra-Tema Beach Road is the southernmost arterial in the Greater Accra region and links the western and eastern parts of the region.